Chapter 14, The Great Escape. You and Darian were in the middle of a sweet reunion when you caught the guy who's been following you. Let go of me. Not a chance. What are you gonna do now? Just hand over that recording, or I'm going to report you for stalking. You could kiss him for that, especially when the guy's face goes white as a sheet. But I'm not. I was never. The only reason I was recording you is because I was hired to do it. You're a hired stalker? I'm a PI, a private investigator. Your jaw drops to the floor, your head bursting with questions. Who hired you? You know, I can't tell you that. But I can tell you it's someone who doesn't like you very much. Okay, but the door swings open, cutting off your next question, and suddenly there's Alice and May. We just came here to see what all the fuss was about here. May turns to you and Darian with a confused look on her face. Lennox, Darian, what's going on? That's what we're trying to figure out, May, because something seriously shady is going on. This man over here is a PI. Apparently someone hired him to tail us. What? To follow you two? Who would do that? She would. Your heads all turn to follow his finger, which is pointed directly at Alice. I thought he just said he couldn't tell, and then he goes and tells. Alice! Why am I not surprised? No one is, dude. How could you? He's lying. I've never seen this man before in my life. You can't possibly take this impostor's word over mine. They don't have to take my word for it, seeing as there's a whole paper trail, but here. The recording. He slaps it into Darian's hand. I did not get paid enough to deal with this. And there's your answer about who done it. Who done it, okay? You watch him take his leave as Darian clutches the recorder in his fist, then whirls on Alice, ready to tear her a new one. But May gets there first. Why the hell would you hire someone to follow Lennox? He's been nothing but good friend to Lucia. This is absurd behavior, Alice. What do you know, May? Lennox has been dragging Lucia down since they were children. She's a good-for-nothing who wasn't amounted to anything, and Lucia's tolerated her bad behavior for far too long. Just look what happened between her and Shannon. Alice, you have no idea what you're talking about. Shannon and I are none of your business. But if you recall, I introduced him to Lucia. Do you think I would have done that if I were still interested? And do you really think I'd do that to Lucia? The statement about not amounting to anything, well, you're not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole. Especially since you're not sure if she's wrong. But thankfully, your best advocates are right here. You could not be more off base, Alex. Or Alice. Lennox is the best friend anyone could ask for, including Lucia. I agree with Darian. This was a cruel thing to do, Alice, and Lennox deserves an apology. None of what's happened with Shannon is her fault, and taking it out on her isn't going to fix anything. Not to mention that Lennox is twice the woman you're giving her credit for. Their comments are sweet, but as much as you appreciate this war, you're fed up with being looked down on. You storm inside. Alice's rebuttal fades into the background, the music of the band taking its place. I have to say my piece once and for all. Time for a toast. Oh, God. This is probably not the best thing to do, but alright. Everyone quiets down and looks up at you as you tap your glass. First of all, congratulations to Shannon and Lucia on this beautiful evening. But I have something else I want to share with you all. Then that's a confession. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Darian, May, and Alice slip back inside, and you take a deep breath before continuing. Darian and I weren't dating at the beginning of the trip. We actually met on the plane. The room echoes with gasps and exclamations of disbelief. I'm sorry, what? Huh. Even had me fooled. That is not easy to do. You're torn between guilt and deception, pride that you apparently pulled it off really, really well. If Darren and I are this great a fake couple, imagine how well we'll be with a real one when we finally get out of here. It's true. We were lying to you. It's also true that we hit it off immediately, and we are very much dating now. The room fills with murmurs, but the only reaction you care about is Darian's. Yeah, he's smiling, so what else is new? He shoots you a thumbs up, and you breathe a sigh of relief. Yeah, so the final word on that, but I have one more thing to share. Your gaze drifts over to Alice, and you all see the color drained out of her face. Now's gonna be the perfect time to really let her have it and get the full story out there so my conscience can be clear. Oh no. Drag 'em all! I'll save Alice for last. She's definitely worthy of a grand finale, especially with this revelation. You turn instead to find Shannon, Darian's father, catching him like a deer in the headlights. Mr. Farrell, Darian never had a chance to please you here, did he? You're half the reason we had to do all this in the first place. I know I haven't been the most subtle about my feelings when it comes to you, but I really hope this whole mess hammers at home. The way you treated Darian as a kid, how you obviously always favored Shannon. No wonder Darian needed backup for this week. Unbidden, your hands cover your heart as you briefly close your eyes and picture Darian's face. But you know what? I also have to thank you, because Darian is an incredibly resilient person, in part because of the way you mistreated him all of these years. Next to him, Shannon's looking every bit as horrified, and you know what? He should. You turn to face him, and even from a distance you can see him swallow nervously. And Shannon, you should be ashamed for how you've been treating Lucia. This is supposed to be the happiest week of her life, and you've made it absolutely miserable. How can you not appreciate what you have in her? How can you not see what you're ruining everything? You made this week stressful for everyone by trying to defend me from Darian, and we're all paying the price. Finally, turn to Alice, who has the distinct look of a woman who wants to personally sink into the floor. Good! You hold out the glass in her direction as you're about to toast her and give her your most evil smile. And Alice, though you really take the cake for the entire week, no, not just this week, my entire life. Catch Darian's eye again. He smiles proudly at you from across the room, giving you a subtle thumbs up. The silent encouragement is exactly what you need to take on the woman who's been making your life miserable for as long as you can remember. Alice, I can't wait to share what you've done this time. Ignoring her expression of absolute mortification, you smile broadly and raise your glass. The lovely Alice hired a PI to follow me around this island. Gasps fill the room as heads turn to Lucia's mother. You heard that correctly. She has spent actual money having a PI stalk me to capture information on me and Darian. Now that everyone's in the loop, Darian, can you come up here? Darian strides towards you without hesitation, a smile on his gorgeous face as he comes to stand next to you. If everyone could please raise a glass, I'd like to make a toast, after all. Clearly these people have worked hard to make this week to remember. It's hard to hold back your grandness. Disproving looks fly at Mr. Farrell, Shannon, and especially Alice, so you don't. To Lucia, who deserves better. Without waiting for anyone else to join you, you knock back your drink and grab Darian, pulling him in for a passionate kiss in front of everyone. After a moment of surprise, he quickly melts into it, smiling against your lips as the room fills with smattering of cheers. I think I've earned a drink, don't you? Definitely. You don't so much as glance back at the crowd before dragging Darian out of the room and off to the bar. You and Darian head straight for the drinks, fingers linked in solidarity. I can't believe I just did that. I can. You're one of the bravest people I know, Lennox. I'm proud of you. And you definitely deserve a drink after that. What'll it be? Oh, a shot of literally anything. More champagne or a dirty martini. I'm gonna go with a shot of literally anything. I can't decide whether that's a sexy kind of adventurous or just a cry for help. Can it be both? You throw back a shot, which isn't half bad, while Darian gets a whiskey and then orders another to bring to one of the small tables. Besides being brave, by the way, you were right. And yeah, some people here might disapprove of your toast, but this wedding is pretty much a disaster already, thanks to Shannon. There's a commotion at the door as if summoned by his name. Shannon suddenly storms in and stalks straight over to Darian, stabbing a finger in his face. Oh, for the love of Christ. You never change. You had to sabotage my wedding by planning this grand, ridiculous scheme. You jump up, refusing to allow Shannon to attack Darian like that. You would figure this dude would learn. Holy shit. Hey, for your information, this was my scheme. Darian was just doing me a favor by playing along. I wanted to make Lucia happy by making her think I was settled. That is all. Stop making it sound nefarious or personal, because it wasn't. Darian must have had something to do with it. Enough! A hush falls over the bar as everyone's stunned into silence. You turn slowly and see Lucia standing behind you, flanked by May and Ellie, and all three of them are shooting disappointing looks at Shannon. Because he's too stupid! Oh, this is not good, or maybe it is good for me, or maybe it's terrible for everyone. Lucia stomps over to Shannon, and she looks pissed. I can't take this anymore, Shannon. Your superiority complex over Darian has been really enlightening. And not in a good way. This week has shown me a whole new side of you that I really don't like. And if you want to know the truth, it's completely broken my heart. Lucia. She's right, Jan. And let's not forget about your coldness towards Darian. It's one of the reasons she stopped visiting after high school. I was just a kid. All I wanted was a close relationship with both of my siblings I never got to have. I've always seen Darian as one of my own, especially after his mother died, but it's hard to maintain that closeness when my own flesh and blood drives him away. We could have all been a proper family together. Shannon, instead of... She sweeps her arm sadly in front of her as if she doesn't even know how to describe what their clan has become. Well, you can partially blame the father figure in the home, but I digress. For once, Shannon is completely speechless, but Lucia isn't. Go, Shannon. Get away from Lennox and Darian. Give them some peace for once. Shannon blinks out of his stupor just long enough to walk away. He's gonna go stew and still blame Darian for it. Shannon gone, you try to catch Lucia's gaze, your heart racing in your chest. Lucia, I'm sorry for everything. I never meant for any of this to happen, and you have to know there's nothing going on between me and Shannon. Please, can we go somewhere to talk? You reach for her, but she steps back, a frown on her face. I heard everything you said at the rehearsal dinner, Lennox, and I still need some time to process all the lies you told me. Not that many. You open your mouth to apologize again and then shut it. You did lie, and Lucy deserves her space. She stalks off. Ellie and May follow, shooting you apologetic looks as they trail after Lucia out of the bar and back to the dinner. So much for that. You glance at Darian, gives you a sympathetic smile, and you squeeze of the hand. You tried. We tried. And she just needs some time. Everything will be okay. I hope so. But I think that when it comes to the festivities, you and I have worn out our welcome. Maybe it's time to pack our stuff and go. I think you may be right. I'm sorry, Lennox. You lace your fingers through his, so grateful for his warmth and support. Hey, it could be worse. At least I'm not alone. Yeah, I've been there. He lifts your hand to his lips and kisses your knuckles. Never. You and Darian are quiet as you pack your things, your heart squeezing a little more with each item you toss in your suitcase. This wasn't at all how this week was supposed to go, but then that hasn't been entirely a bad thing. It's also not your fault. This room, that's where Darian and I fell for each other. I'll always have fond memories of it.
What are you smiling about over there?
Just thinking about, looking around and thinking about how, despite everything, I'll never regret coming here because I met you. A warm smile lights up his face, and he puts down his clothing and comes over to place his hands on your hips and a kiss on your lips.
Definitely no regrets about that part. I can't believe someone managed to make this week worthwhile. And actually, since we certainly don't have to attend rehearsal anymore, we've got plenty of time alone. Let's say we celebrate our victory together. Give this room a real goodbye.
Now that's an idea.
Give it the send-off at desserts? No, because we know where that's going to go anyway, right, guys?
But as good as that sounds, I really need to put this place behind me once and for all.
I definitely with you on that. Finish packing, and then we'll figure out our next move.
The idea of missing Lucy's wedding still feels unfathomable to you, but she's made it clear she doesn't want you there. Actually, no, she didn't, but I digress. Besides, who knows if there will even be a wedding at this point, especially if you stay. At least we're going home together. It really is all this making this bearable.
Exactly. Time to leave the past behind us and get started on our future.
The words that send a tingle down to your toes, and the two of you finish throwing your stuff into the bags, when Darian walks over and places those lightly calloused hands you love so much on your face.
One last time in the suite.
Your lips meet in a sweet kiss, and you pick up your bags and head for the door. So what's the plan now? We can't just show up at the airport and expect there to be flights.
Oh, don't worry. I have a way better idea. There's a feral family vacation house right here on the coast, on the island, in fact.
And you have a spare key?
Yep. I stayed there before when I was traveling through Greece. You'll love it. It's right on the sand, and the views are incredible, and best of all,
we'll be all by ourselves without any drama or PIs.
Yes, that.
Escaping to a private beach house with Darian sounds amazing, but the ownership of the house gives you a little pause. Feral house. Won't your dad be pissed?
My dad probably won't even notice we left. It's just for one night. Neither he nor Shannon is going to have a clue. By the time they realize we're gone, we'll have made new plans. We'll book a new flight home from there, be on our way back to Austin by tomorrow.
You think it over. Darian does make a good point, and they probably are too busy with the wedding to bother with you two anyway. Just glad we found out about the PI before he tailed us there. Okay, that makes sense. Just one night. The elevator arrives with a gentle ping, but as the doors open, you can't seem to make yourself get in. This wasn't just a trip. It's your best friend's wedding to Shannon, who meant a lot to you before this week changed him into someone you don't recognize. I never imagined missing Lucia's wedding. I flew all the way to Greece to celebrate her.
What's the matter?
Lucia. I know she doesn't want to talk to me right now, but leaving with no word whatsoever, it just doesn't sit right with me. She didn't cause this mess, and I don't want her friendship to suffer because of this week's whole mess.
Pull out your phone to send her a text, but Darian's gentle hands push it downward. Write her a real letter. Take your time. A quick text might just make her madder.
I think you're right about that. Thank you, but what do I say?
I'll help you write it if you want. I've been told I have a way with words.
I mean,
I really just want to say I want to get out of here. I'm serious, but...
deep breath. Here we go.
That's typically who I am. Like, we've said all we can say, but hey, who knows? It's my pleasure. Whatever makes you happy. Let's go back to the suite so you can get more comfortable and I can find you something to write on.
Back at the suite, he digs through the suitcase and pulls out a notebook, flipping the clean page before handing it to you, along with a pen.
Have you thought about the tone you want to take? I want to... I mean, we didn't do all the drama. We didn't do what Alice did. We didn't do the PI. We didn't do what Shannon did. We didn't do any of it. It's not our problem. This is why I hate this. I explained why I had to put my foot down. Her mother took things way too far. She needs to know why my staying here became impossible. I completely agree. You know how proud I am of you for standing up for yourself. Tell her everything. I bet she'll feel the same way. She only wants the best for you. She does, and I can only hope she understands. You put pen to paper and start to write. Dear Lucia, by the time you read this, I will be long gone from the hotel. I'm so sorry things had to be this way. I know it's hard to understand why I had to go, but please believe me, it was necessary. My whole life, I've been told I'm not good enough, including by your mother. This whole PI thing was just the icing on the cake. Now that I'm finally met someone who understands what it's like, it makes me feel worthy. I can't let myself be dragged down by people like Alice or Mr. Farrell anymore. I deserve better, and you deserve better from Shannon. Hopefully with the distraction of me out of the way, you'll finally get it. You show what you have so far to Darian. What do you think? He gives your arm a supportive, affectionate squeeze. I think it's perfect. Is there anything else you want to say? I'm not sure. On one hand, I did lie to her, and part of me feels like I should apologize for that, but on the other, I only lied to help ease her mind this week, and the only reason it hurt anyone, including Lucia, was because of Shannon. I definitely see both sides, so what are you gonna do? I mean, she could have been told, and she would have understood, and then the fact that you were falling for Darian, like, we could have put it in a better way without lying to her. So I will apologize for that. And I'm sorry, too, for lying. You're my best friend, and I never want you to feel like you can't trust me. Your faith in me has always meant so much, and it still does. I do hope you understand that the only reason I lied is because I wanted us to be able to focus on your happiness this week. You've always been such an incredible friend, always worrying about me, and I was trying to make sure you didn't have to. That's a good, yeah, I agree with that. Tears break your eyes as you think about how this all began, because Lucy is too nice and caring to know you may have ruined her wedding as a punch to the gut. We didn't ruin shit! Stop blaming yourself! Blame the douche she's marrying. He's a douche canoe. So's his father. So's Alice. Half the family's a douche canoe. Darian gives you another supportive squeeze, giving you both the strength to go on and a reminder of what else you want to say. For what it's worth, Darian and I aren't a lie anymore. We truly did form a strong, real connection, which is why we're leaving together. Hopefully things will turn around for you and Shannon and your wedding once we're gone. I love you, Lucia. But I understand that you need space from me for a while, and this is me giving it to you. And I hope that when the dust settles, you and I will find a way to be friends again. I'd be crushed if we didn't. A tear rolls down your cheek, and you swipe it at it. Another one follows. Darian gently dabs it with a tissue, and you take a deep breath as support, giving you strength. I think it's really good that you're doing this, Lennox. I know things are tough with Lucia right now, but they won't stay that way. Lucia sees you as family, real family, not the mess I've got going on. There's no way she can ice you out for long. She'll come around with time. How could she not? I don't need more comfort. Wrap it up and go. You're right. I couldn't stand it if Lucy and I really weren't friends anymore. Though it does help to finally have someone else in my corner. You give Darian a quick kiss, leaving no question as to who you were talking about, and sign your name to the letter. Okay, I should get this to Lucia's room, and then, we've got to go. I'll call a car to take us to the beach house as soon as you drop it off. I guess that's it. You read the letter over one last time, fold it up, and write Lucia's name on it. You slide it under a door and board the elevator with Darian in tow. You sneak through the lobby undetected as Darian calls his driver to come pick you up. I see you looking over your shoulder every second, Lennox. No one's going to spot us. The driver will be here in a minute, so just take a deep breath and try to relax. I can't relax until we're inside the car. Sure enough, a shiny town car is pulling up, and you breathe a sigh of relief. Darian darts in front of you to hold open the door, bowing slightly. After you. You roll your eyes, but you're smiling as you jump into the back seat, and Darian slides in after you. Darian gets the driver instructions, and you settle in for the drive, relieved to be putting this whole mess behind you. As the car starts to pull away, Darian takes your hand in his, warm, comforting one. For what it's worth, I'm really proud of you for putting your own well-being first for once. I know as well as anyone how hard it can be to take the reins of your life, and it's been an honor to watch you crush it. His words relieve some of the tension in your shoulders, and you return his smile with a genuine one of your own. I'm looking forward to another eventful flight. I mean, if it's half as fun as the one on the way here... Oh, trust me, I have grand plans. Suddenly the door to the front passenger seat swings open. What the... What are you doing here? Possibly making a huge mistake. Possibly making the only sound decision possible. But the wild look in her eyes is anything but sound. I'm probably gonna regret this, but if you have an escape plan, I want in. Not really surprised by this either. I was either expecting, hey, no, don't go, and we have a talk, or I was expecting something of this matter. Or suddenly, like, we get to the beach house and we get a bunch of texts, and it's Lucia, and she's trying to reach us and find us, and, you know, something. I planned either three. But anyway, without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember that if you did enjoy the content that I do, to like, share, and subscribe. Please consider doing that. Pretty much, I need viewer support just like yours. I'm trying to grow this channel, so, you know, I will share this. I feel a lot like Lennox and Darren. I'm going to try and make this TLDR as possible, as much as possible, so here we go. Pretty much I grew up in a broken home, a home of a person that did every single thing mean and possible to me, and it's something that I've tried to talk about my entire life, and it's been super, super hard. Pretty much friends of 20 plus years don't even really truly know my story. They just know I have a lot of baggage that I try and hide and play close to the chest. So this is a person that pretty much should never be around kids. Should literally and figuratively not be even allowed legally to be allowed to school zone. So just to kind of give you, to allude to what I have to say, because, you know, the platform itself does not like us talking about things in specifics. Okay? So I really didn't have friends growing up. I didn't have, you know, anyone really in my corner besides one particular person, which unfortunately they passed away. You know, for a while, I kind of hated the universe. I didn't want to live anymore, and etc. Trust me, not for any failed, or, well, not for trying, just failed. So, long story short is I've battled through a lot of things, and I'm kind of like on a road alone, though. And so I've turned to this community, this channel that I've built, and trying to, I don't know, maybe help other people, make you smile, make you entertain, do something. And so the only one thing that I've ever cared about, really, in a long time, is this channel. Right? It's the one thing I care about. And so I continue to walk forward each day and continue to do the things I can do for this channel, for each and every one of you watching. So when I say please support this channel, I truly and utterly mean it. There's only so much I can do as a content creator, because I make the content, right? I do the reading, I do the voicing, I do the uploading, I do the thumbnail, I do it all, right? So, you know, when I say I need viewers like you to support it, you know, if you care at all about this channel, again, I need your support, because it's the one and only truly thing I do care about that's left, right? A lot of people, you know, they kind of like they talked about, you know, Darian and Lennox, and you were failures, and you're pathetic, and you're low, and you're not this and that. And I've had a lot of things said to me, even by people as I've been trying to work on this channel and make this channel into something. I've had people just, you know, tell me I should stop breathing, and just give up. This channel's nothing. This channel's just, it really gets at you. So each time I upload a piece of content, I hope that it goes well. I hope that you enjoy it and the whole nine yards, right? I truly and utterly mean that. And so, like, this book, this chapter kind of brings things out of me, and especially the way people talk, and people always try and conspire against you. Plus, me, I trust me, I've got plenty of tales that I could tell. And you would sit here with your mouth hung open and you'd be like, holy shit, man. You've been through a lot. So I definitely feel for both Lennox and Darian in this book. Definitely feel for it. I feel for anybody who ever has to go through family issues and go through a lot of things. And I'm glad that some of you have been comfortable enough to come forward and talk to me about these things. And I'm glad that I was able to at least at the very least listen to you, let alone help some of you. So that's another kicker, and plus for me is helping people, right? Anyway, otherwise, thank you all for watching. Catch you all in the next video. Peace out.